One more sleep and we're out of here.
That's it. So what do you see the other night as far as the guys on special teams and really communication?
I thought we had a good game. It was solid. Secured the football. That's always hard to do. You saw where it hurt them a little bit. But I also, on the other hand, I like the fact that we did knock the ball out. So, I mean, you look at it that way too. I thought the guys flew around pretty good. Kicking was exceptional. Bucker's really trying to work the edges with the kickoffs, and a little bit too close, really. I mean, that thing could have easily bounced out. But you want to try to push the limits right now during this preseason. You want to see how far you can go with it. And he's worked so hard at it, and it's good to see him have some success there. And then Matt, he punted well. He had some really good punts. He had the one touchback where I thought, we could have did a better job with the hang time on that instead of the distance. But he's moving the ball well. He's gotten better, over from last year. So I'm excited about where we are right now.
How do you reconcile as a team? Nico is important for Merritt at the back end, looking strong.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Nico can do. He needs to do a lot more on offense. I mean, which he has. He's been doing. So we'll just keep working him in there, and everybody knows how I feel about Nico. I love having a guy that you can depend on, solid. He's not going to cost you a game. That's important. It's so important.
Has anyone else shown improvement on the catching part of the return? Earlier in the camp, you loved what Nico did. Is anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get Burchard. Burchard, I had him back there a bunch, but he just didn't. He had the fair catch where he probably should have returned. Obviously, he should have returned. It was blocked up. But we got to keep throwing him in there until he gets some more reps. I mean, Taekwon, he got one. There's just only so many reps to go around. You got to try to get as many guys in as you can, and hopefully we'll get Burchard some more this week. See if he can be a dynamic guy like we think he can.
Dave, on the upcoming documentary about the Chiefs, there's a segment about Andy not sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. It's real. I have to have 7 hours. If I don't have 7 hours, I'm toast. So I got to get home. I don't know how he does it. He operates. He's been doing it for years, and he just doesn't need a lot of sleep. It's amazing. I've never come to work and not seen his car there. When as early as I come in, he's always there. And when I leave, it's there. So I don't think he sleeps there, but he still goes home, but he doesn't spend a lot of time at home. I know that.
Where do you go last year, Sam? Have you ever seen him
tired? No. I mean, that's a good question, but no.
Did you see him in the morning? He still has the same energy?
Yeah. He does.
You might have touched on this earlier, but the new kickoffs, is there something that you learned from a game experience that you couldn't learn from here in practice?
Not really. Our guys are doing different stuff now because you're allowed to take the middle guy and have him off the line. You can have 3 guys off the line now, which is, I think it's an advantage for the kickoff return team. It helped us a little bit, I thought, in the game. I think teams are going to use it to their advantage like we did. Other than that, obviously teams are going to be kicking into the target zone. I mean, that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot more returns, just like I said before, a lot more coverages, and it's all good for special teams.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Kingsley specifically, what kind of growth have you seen in this moving left guard?
Well, this being his second year, I definitely have seen a better understanding of defense, and I've really been pleased with how he's taken to the run game techniques in there at the guard position. It's different than tackle where you've got so much more space. These guys are on you right now, so he's gotten better in that regard, and then he's doing a nice job with transitioning and working the pass pro techniques as well.
Josh, again, he was out there at OTAs and all that stuff. As you watched him through this, coming back after a game, what have you seen his progression like through the practice stuff you see? We all saw what was happening. What did you like about it? Meeting rooms and practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big job for anybody coming in to learn the details of the offense, assignments, techniques. Every play's got 1,000 little details, and so picking those things up, that was job one in the spring, where he was doing less physical work with us. And since he's gotten to training camp, he's been able to every day add one or two of these little details that are important to each play. And so I've seen him steadily improve and his understanding, and we're able to have better conversations about what's going on, and I think that what we'll see his trajectory do is just go like this. Yeah, we've only gotten him a little bit of work in there, but he's certainly got a great body type to have great success in there. We're going to lean on him to help us out at the tackle position, and having trained him to play some guard, which is something that he hadn't done, I think will be important, because down the road we may need to see him in there.
How strong is the competition for 8, 9, and 10? And what kind of things are you looking for differentiators?
Yeah, I think this is one of the best years we've had in terms of bringing in, talent and creating competition across the board. That's just going to make the group better. So when you talk about the 8th, 9th, and 10th spot, there's a lot of competition going on, and there's still a lot more to be done there in terms of evaluation. Those preseason games are going to be huge. So who's operating and grading out, basically getting their guy blocked the most consistently? Who do we trust to put in there on a Sunday or Monday night? I'd hesitate to compare guys. Every guy's different. I'm still in a learning process myself of, what makes him tick, how does he learn best, how can I help him get better, and so there's constant communication there. But I would say he's certainly as talented a player as I've ever been around. He loves the game. And so, those are two good things. When you're talented and you love the game and you want to be the best, you've got a great chance to be a good one.
Last one, Matt.
Following up on what Larry said, Andy and Josh talked about Jalen Moore and Mike Caliendo kind of being streaming starters. How about some other guys? Wanye, and I know Essa, True God has been playing too. How are those other three guys?
Yeah, I would say all of them have really been progressing nicely. And you talk about a guy like Hunter, and he has been battling with Mike. Last year, Mike played an important role for us. When you look back further than that, Nick Allegretti, who played a lot of ball for us, Andrew Wiley, who played a lot of ball for us. So Mike's been able to do that, and really Hunter has developed his game to where I think he can be right there, with the Mike Caliendo. Center guard flexing there. And then Chu, I've been really pleased with his progression here. It takes time coming from a different country and not really having played the game, but things are starting to click for Chu a little bit right now. So we're giving him an opportunity to compete.
Thanks, Coach.
What a day out here in St. Joe's. Appreciate everyone being here. Great day, nice crisp practice, and with that, I'll leave it up to you guys and ladies to ask questions. Well, we got Chris Jones, who's as dominant a 3 technique as there is in the NFL, so we're trying to get everybody else ready. And you got to play 2 spots, and Omar is going to play both. Omar will play 3 and shade, so we're getting him ready for both. Good. I mean, he was 295, 300 in college, and certain days he's 304, 305, but he'll adjust to that. Great motor, really soaks everything in and just tries to do everything detailed and right.
How much does he remind you of where George was at?
Very similar in terms of, they were coached by the same coach. He was at, Coach Hagan did a great job with George at Purdue, and now he's at Louisville. But very similar. Both have great motors. Both love football, so really, really similar. Jerry's been a great addition. He's a vet, 8-year vet. He can play all along the line of scrimmage. He's really worked hard, and he's doing a great job, and we're glad we have him. He's playing hard, playing physical. He's always been able to be nifty at rushing the passer, but we asked him to be a little bit more stouter in the run game, and he's doing that. Oh no, we kind of feed off one another. No, Chris has done a great job leadership wise, and no, it's been like he's always done that.
One of the things that Chris talked about when we talked to him last was you need more sacks. You guys got to get the quarterback to the ground. You have what on your roster right now? You think?
Yeah.
The roster that can get.
You know, absolutely. You know, when you look at the 2 years we won the Super Bowl, and you know, Spags as creative as it comes in terms of getting to the quarterback. We have guys that can get to the quarterback, and you know, we had like 57 or 60 2 years in a row, and then we dipped a little bit last year, but we picked it up the end of the year and into the playoffs. So the thing we got to do a better job of is making sure in certain situations he doesn't get out of the pocket. We had opportunities to get him down and didn't finish, and that's been our emphasis this year. Chris having a phenomenal camp. He hadn't missed a rep, and this is our 4th year together. He had a similar camp in 22. Obviously wasn't here in 23. He was injured a little bit last year. He hadn't missed a rep. Long drive drill, 9-on-7, 1-on-1 pass rush, phenomenal. He's in great physical shape, and he's on a mission.
The last couple of years, you haven't had Charles and maybe up on the field at the beginning of the season. How does it make your life maybe easier both to have that depth with him and the other guys?
Well, I'm glad we got Charles back. Number one, he was a free agent, right? And you're right. I mean, the first 6 games, 7 games, both years, 8 games last year, Charles wasn't available. And I'm glad he's available. He's fully healthy, and he's working his tail off, and he's going to be great for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
All right.
How many tickets do you have to come up with college?
Oh, man, I'm going to have Kelsey pay for them. How about that? Nebraska, Cincinnati, that's going to be a good one. We'll have a couple.
What do you like so far about Noah Williams?
He competes. He showed some physicality in the game in Arizona. So those are things that we were looking for. And I just love the fact that, you know, the kid, he takes coaching. You know, a lot of guys, sometimes they come in and you don't know what you're getting. It's like a box of chocolates. You have no clue what you're going to get, but he takes coaching. So we love that about him.
What stands out about, we've seen Nazi have a lot of reps with the ones out here.
Yeah.
What stands out about the camp?
We're just trying to, I mean, you probably saw that Watson wasn't in, and so Nazi has to go in and rotate, and so it's just keeping it on rotation. That's all.
What stands out just about the camp and Nazi stuff?
Well, just the fact that he's able to bounce back up and come right back, even if he gets beat. The kid comes back, and all of a sudden he continues to compete. And so NJ, again, is a young man who last year was baptized as a corner in the NFL, and so the fact now that he's going into his really 3rd year as a corner is going to help him out. So, but he has long speed and he has quickness, and so hopefully he'll just continue to get better.
Appreciate both. First of all, the changes that he's done, obviously, sort of showcasing that.
Yeah, you know, Chris has done a wonderful job for us. I mean, we have him at multiple positions. He did that his rookie year where we played him at safety, played him at nickel, moved him from, you know, outside and just really played him closer towards the box. And so the young man is very cerebral. And so he's able to pick up the defenses, and then he can do a lot of things for us, whether it's strong, free safety, as well as play a little, you know, dime and nickel. So having that kind of Swiss Army knife is going to help us out.
Christian Bolton is coming back from his injury. Had him out here for a couple of practices. What are some of the challenges because of this time to get him up to speed, game-wise and even practice-wise before the start of the regular season?
Yeah, I think the challenge is for Christian is just to get his cardio. Because you can go and you can work with your off-season coach, you can go and work with the trainers, but when you come out here and you're working with a professional coach as well as going against a professional offense, your cardio is the first thing that you're going to see. And so I think the good thing about him is today, I think he wanted to tap out, and then all of a sudden just told him to just keep going because he needs that, you know, just play after play after play. So if he can continue to expand and open his lungs, that's going to help us all out. Yep.
You know, where's he at now?
Still swimming. He's still Dory. All right, just keep swimming. I tell these guys, when you're playing one position, there should be no reason for you not to know what to do. If you're not a guy who's going from safety to nickel to dime, if you're doing multiple positions, I get it. You know, we have a complex defense, but if you're playing one position, you should never, ever not know what to do. You should know the call before the safety even makes the call. So hopefully he'll continue to ascend in the direction that we want him to go in. So, but he's doing well.
Last one, Pete.
Maybe Coach Trent just came in all-pro comes from the challenges.
Yep.
What do you directly think to work on? How can he improve?
Trent just in phase. I think one of the things is that once Trent gets in phase, one of the things we're working on is making sure that he's able to get closer to the receivers and pin the hip as they're going down the field. And so with that, you're looking at Trent, and no, Trent is not the guy who's 6'3", 6'4" at corner. And so he's going to have to get into the body of these guys and try to, you know, physicality, try to outwork them as they're going down the field versus separation where the guys can just jump. And so it's just really just working on getting closer to receivers, doing a good job.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you. Thank
Fire away.
What have you seen just from Taekwon from the summer just until now here in training camp?
Yeah, Taekwon's done great. He's been picking up the playbook well. He's known all three spots, and he brings some speed. So he's doing good.
How about Brownlee? Same thought. What have you seen?
Yeah, Brownlee, another guy. He moved him around all three spots. He's picking up the playbook well. And then, I mean, we saw in the game, he's got a crazy catch radius. So I like where both those guys are at.
Can you speak to the some of the enhancements, some of the improvements, maybe polishing route running you see from Xavier, especially given how many different routes he ran during his rookie season?
Yeah, you know, after the season, me and him had a good talk of what he needs to get better at, and I think he did a good job in the off season, especially the summer, of working on the stuff we were talking about. And I think it shows on the field. He's not just a straight line go route guy. He can run multiple routes. So I really like what he did. Came back in great shape, and then, like you said, he's gotten better at route running.
How challenging was last season with just all of the injuries and having to work in and not maybe know who you had week to week and so
Yeah.
many rookies and young inexperienced guys to do?
Yeah, it was difficult, but I think that's what makes us such a great team. It's that next man up. So all the second, third string guys, they know they're one play away from being a starter. So that's credit to them too, being in their book, knowing what to do, and then when they got the opportunity, they made the most of it.
How important is Rashid to what you guys want to accomplish as an entire offense in 25?
Yeah, he'll be very important. I'm excited to see him back from his injury. He looks great. He's in great shape. He's just a physical force out there. I love him when he gets the ball in his hands. He turns into a true running back. He'll help our offense a lot.
Couple more.
Collectively as a group, what stands out? I understand that each wide receiver brings something different. to the
Yes.
table, but as a group, what about their speed? How fast is this group?
Yeah, it's fast. It's like a track team out there, a 4x1 team. It's next man up. They all can run. That's kind of what our offense is based off of, is just speed. And then, just like you said, we got a lot of guys that can run. So I like the depth of our room and the speed of it.
Coach, we hear a lot about remedial special teams, but what do you see with him playing the receiver spots?
Yeah, he's another guy. Just knows everything, knows all the spots. I have no problem throwing him in. Someone's, tired or has a hammy. I need it. He'll get in there. He'll know exactly what to do. And then I think just like he does in the return game, he shows up every day the same guy. So you got to respect that.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach Bleymaier?
You guys asked Embo all the hard ones, I assume.
So you guys have really been emphasizing the downfield passing game. Just wondered what you've seen out here over these last few weeks.
Yeah, I've seen the whole offense, all the guys, some of the returning guys, trying to establish an identity. I think each year you have to reestablish that identity, kind of form who you're going to be as an offense. You can't take for granted what you've done in the past and just simply think you're going to transform or start back up where you left off. And so emphasizing, hey, everything starts in the vertical game. putting pressure on the defense, down the field, across the field, all of those fundamentals of how to open up the field. That's what that's what I've seen, that emphasis, and just starting over. Here's where we go, and form that identity until they stop it. Even going against our defense, which Coach Spags is a great segue into the season, because they'll have adjustments throughout camp. But until they stop this, we'll keep doing it. Once they stop it, now where's our next compliment?
How can you utilize Xavier in year two and maybe you weren't able to right away in year one?
Yeah, he has a familiarity with the offense and the scheme to where he can do more things. You can put more in terms of where he aligns and the routes and the concepts on his plate. He too, utilizing him more, he too is in that identity phase and that formation of himself as a player. And so one of the things that he does, I think that's a credit to him, is he's really emphasizing and focusing on the things that he does well, continuing to do those well, rather than to just take it for granted, focus on the next thing in his game that he would like to build on. He singles out Trent in one-on-ones, and oftentimes he's going to run the same routes over and over against Trent. So really sharpening his fastball, his main pitch, and then from there being able to say, all right, here's how I can complement that, and here's the other moves and the routes that can work off that. So he's like a microcosm of the offense in general. In year two, he's trying to establish that identity of here's what I can do against anybody in the league, and then if they start taking it away, here's how I can complement that.
Joe, you mentioned the identity, and from like 2018 to 2021, you had that Legion of Zoom identity, and everybody's been talking about speed this year being the hallmark. What are the similarities? Are there similarities between what you're trying to do now versus what was happening back then?
Yeah, I think there's similarities in when you have multiple guys on the field, like in those early years when you had Trav and Tyreek and Sammy, and you had multiple guys on the field who could do multiple things against the defense, then they never knew really which way a certain concept was coming. It could be Sammy one week, Tyreek the next, Trav in the week 3. So each month it was just a constant guessing game and cycling through how we were getting to certain things and then complementing them. This year, I think we have a similar set of wide receivers who have been in the system, and although they all have different traits and are better at different things specifically, they all have a skill set that can allow them to line up anywhere on the field and work a specific concept. And so that just allows us to hopefully keep the defense off balance with not necessarily having it always be Xavier running deep and then Trav underneath. It's just like we were talking about with Xavier's game. He's underneath and somebody else is over the top, and just constantly changing them.
Joe, what have you seen from Travis this camp? This guy decided to come back, been through this a whole bunch of times. How's he evolved over the years?
Today was a great example. We one of the hotter last days of training camp in full pads. We started off slow on offense. Trav gets a route one-on-one, and we hadn't seen many completions out there today, and Trav beats his man one-on-one, breaks out for a 20-yard gain, and kind of sets the tone for everybody that, hey, you get man-to-man coverage, we're winning these routes, let's go. So that, just the veteran that he is, the amount of years out here, and then when everybody was pushing through the dog days of camp, it was him who made the play one-on-one against the defense. That kind of just goes to that bigger picture where maybe you don't recognize the years as much because it's just the same old Trav. That's what he's always been doing. But for him to be able to dig deep and do that, that was just like a fountain of youth moment today in full pads out here.
We'll go a couple more. What's that talk to you most about Patrick this weekend?
His ability to communicate with the veteran guys who have been here, and then also the younger guys, Jalen, who's learning our offense, some of the newer tight ends, exactly what he wants through their eyes. So he can speak to Rasheed and Xavier, Hollywood, Trav, a certain way. They have a communication that sometimes is unspoken. But then with Jalen and some of our newer tight ends and newer pass catchers, he's been able to communicate exactly what he wants through their eyes, which is you can see him almost taking a breath and seeing, hey, I know exactly what you were thinking, or here's what I think you thought, and here's how I saw it, and it's just clicking I think that's a maturity and an experience thing from Patrick to be able to recognize the game through their eyes and see it through their experience, and then meet them where they are. It's been incredible to watch.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Joe.